In astrology, there is no such thing where only one planet or one house is responsible for a specific outcome. Every person has the potential to become intelligent. The seed of intelligence is in every human being. The only difference is that in few it never sprouts, while in others it sprouts and starts growing. And then there are individuals who appear as dumb in the school, but later in life they become great scientists, presidents, and prime ministers. Sometimes the seed takes time to sprout, but once it sprouts, it just goes on growing so fast that nobody else can catch up with them. One has to understand the fact that astrology is not one dimensional. Astrology is multidimensional because life is also multidimensional. For marriage, Venus and Mars is necessary as much as Jupiter and Sun. For marriage, seventh house is as important as the second and the 11th house. So, just for one event to happen, multiple planets and houses are instrumental and not just one planet or one house. Intelligence is not of the head but of the heart. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists and a genius, never had his moon and Mercury in exalted places in his horoscope because moon and Mercury have to do with the intellect, and intellectualism is not intelligence. Intellectualism is a poor substitute to intelligence. Always remember, intellectuality is mechanical. The intellect is absolutely bankrupt. It has nothing of its own. All is borrowed. And that's the difference between intelligence and intellect. Intelligence has an eyesight of its own, a capacity to see into things, into problems. Intelligence is your born quality. And so, many shallow men and women relate moon and Mercury with intelligence, which in reality is not true. Else, we would not have had Albert Einstein, who has a debilitated moon in Scorpio and a debilitated Mercury in Pisces. So, first thing you all have to understand is that moon and Mercury has absolutely nothing to do with intelligence. In fact, intelligence wells up only when the intellect debilitates. Look at Einstein. His moon and Mercury are in total debilitation. He has problems reading letters during his childhood days. It is a strange thing that a man who could not read letters and alphabets in his childhood days invented the atom bomb. Intelligence has more to do with your consciousness, and consciousness is represented in astrology by the most beautiful star, Sun. Sun is a star and not a planet. Along with Sun, when you have some great higher altitude planets in a strong positive position, then you have got someone who is in the true sense intelligent and not intellectual. These planets of higher altitudes are Uranus and Neptune. Interestingly, in India, Uranus and Neptune has been ignored by many astrologers. Someday, I will be writing a new book on Uranus and Neptune. With the blessings of the benevolent Master and all my readers and followers, that day will come soon. In Albert Einstein's horoscope, Uranus and Neptune are in prominent positions along with his Jupiter and Sun. So, the answer to your question is that life is multidimensional. Astrology is also multidimensional. And so, one planet cannot represent intelligence. Intelligence comes when the mind, that is the moon, is dropped and the head, that is Mercury, is dropped. In Albert Einstein's birth chart, this is exactly what has happened. Moon, that is mind, is dropped. It is debilitated in Scorpio sign. And the head, Mercury, is dropped. It is debilitated in Pisces sign. And when this happens, the heart takes the control. And the heart is always right. Always. Intelligence is born when the intellect is in tune with your heart. When heart commands and not the monkey mind commands. Intelligence is of the soul. Intellect is of the mind. Mind is just a garbage. Mind is that which has been given to you by others. The whole collection, the whole junkyard, all kinds of people have been throwing in you. That is your mind. That mind continuously suffers from an inferiority complex, is bound to suffer. It has nothing of its own. It has no ground underneath its feet. A spiritual being is therefore an intelligent being and not intellectual being, because the whole essence of spirituality is totally based on how deeply you are connected with your heart. That is the reason why great yogis have emphasized on heart meditations. To all my close followers and listeners, I appeal, if you really want to experience the blossoming of your intelligence, then move away from your head and start your journey towards the heart. That is indeed the real spiritual journey, the journey within. There are people who think a lot, they apply a lot of head, a lot of intellectualism, and then they say, why should I give food to that starving poor man? Can't he work and get his own bread? And then there are people of heart. They simply give away. They simply share. They are willing to go that extra mile just to help others. They are perfectly aware of the fact that you never become poor by giving. Always remember, my fellows, no one has ever become poor by giving. Kindness can come only from an intelligent being and not from an intellectual being. Whether one believes in a religion or not, and whether one believes in rebirth or not, there isn't anyone who doesn't appreciate kindness and compassion. Only if you are a man of heart, only if you listen to the voice of your heart, Only then can you show kindness. Only then can you feel compassion for others. The true essence of humankind is kindness. There are other qualities which come from education or knowledge, but it is essential if one wishes to be a genuine human being and impart satisfying meaning to one's existence to have a good heart. I have been helping you all to understand the very basic fact that this world is divided in two groups: the intellectual group, which is Asura, and the intelligence group, which is Sura, the Devatas. Ravan was Asura, Rama was Sura. Similarly, the battlefield of astrology chart is also divided into the intellectual planets and the intelligent planets. Intellectual planets are Mercury, Moon, Venus, and Rahu. Intelligent planets are Sun, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Ketu. And then there is one planet who is above all, because his duty is altogether different than all the other planets that I mentioned. And his name is Saturn, Lord Saturn. Very soon, by the month of September, my new book is coming, my fellows, on Lord Saturn. I have spent almost 11 months on writing this book, and I will be happy whenever it comes out. And of course, I will be sharing about it with you all on this channel. Saturn simply judge. How you blend intellectualism with intelligence is what Saturn observes. Because the greater you blend, the greater is going to be the quality of your karma. And the less you blend, the less is going to be the quality of your karma. Saturn is an observer. Observation is what Saturn does. And Jiddu Krishnamurti, one of the greatest intelligent being, says, the ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. Saturn is therefore the most intelligent planet of all 9 planets, because his depth of observing is what helps him make the right decisions. Right decisions comes from your consciousness, and when you are 100% conscious of your actions, of your karma, you can observe in the true sense. Saturn is 100% conscious, and so he observes deeply, and the observation leads him to the right decisions, the right judgment. That is the reason why judges of the high courts and judges of the supreme courts always have Saturn in a prominent position in their birth charts. Saturn is balance, and that is exactly what the master says, that to become intelligent, you have to learn to balance the intellect with the voice of your heart. Because the ultimate consciousness, the ultimate truth, the ultimate intelligence dwells in your heart. Jesus says, God dwells in the heart. Krishna says, God is within you in your heart. Buddha says, you will find God nowhere else than in the depth of your heart. God is the ultimate fragrance of your consciousness, and God dwells in your heart. Your heart is beautiful, and what makes you miserable is the mind, the head. The journey from the head to your heart has to begin. Only then intelligence is possible. Only then the truth can be self realized, and this wonderful journey can begin only when you sit down and start meditating. Intelligence comes from meditation. Intelligence comes from rebellion. Intelligence does not come from memory. So come you all and start meditating every day. I see so many of you are following me not only on this channel but also on Quora, and I understand the depth of understanding that you all have. Else, following me is just not possible. It is said that you will follow only that which is also within you. You will appreciate only that which is also within you. And so I am truly delighted to see all of you. It just means that there are many seeds that are sprouting and will someday grow into a beautiful tree. A tree is more alive than any temple, any church. A river is more alive than any mosque. Only an intelligent man can appreciate. The more you become spiritual, the more you advance in your meditations, you become a man who always appreciates others. The seed of goodness is found in the soil of appreciation. You all have the seed of intelligence within you. I can see that very clearly. You just have to water the seed every day by meditating. Remember, meditation will bring you more and more intelligence, infinite intelligence, a radial intelligence. Meditation will make you more alive and sensitive. Your life will become richer. Always remember that if you are moving in the right direction, you will go on flowering. And once the seed within you sprouts, then there is no looking back. The whole universe is then available to you, and that is the real sign of intelligence. That is when a Buddha is born. That is when a Mahavira is born. This is the way of its happening. This is how it happens when you start turning inwards. The real treasure, that which we all seek, is never very far. There is no real need to seek it in a distant place, for it lies buried within our own hearts. And yet there is this strange and persistent fact that is only after a journey in a distant region, in a new land, that the way to that treasure becomes clear. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to seek anybody. You just have to focus within yourself. You just have to focus on meditating every day, chanting the holy mantra. The planets that push you towards intelligence are the planets who has absolutely nothing to do with your head and your mind. Sun, Jupiter, Ketu, Uranus, Neptune. These all planets are the energies that can help the seed within you to sprout, to blossom, to grow. And once the seed within you sprouts, a great explosion within takes place. It is called spiritual explosion. And the energy that comes out of this spiritual explosion is the divine energy, to which the world addresses as God. We don't experience the divine from the outside, my fellows. The energy that we produce through this explosion of consciousness, the growth, the flowering of our being, that energy itself is the divine, is God. Someday you all must read my book, Why Ketu Can Heal. Ketu is one of the greatest energy, the greatest bridge that help you move from the head, that is intellectualism, to the heart, your divine intelligence. Only a meditative man can appreciate Ketu. Only a man with divine intelligence can understand Ketu. Ketu is no head, no mind, and it is only in the state of no mind can you experience the divine, the ultimate truth. In the space of no mind, truth descends like light. Because intelligence has absolutely nothing to do with the mind or the head, with the moon or Mercury, intelligence has to do with your consciousness. And consciousness is represented in astrology by sun, the soul. That is the reason why Leo is the sign that has the capability of reaching the peak of intelligence, because it is ruled by sun, the source of consciousness. Joy comes in the morning, says the Holy Bible. This morning is the consciousness. Joy comes only when you start living with consciousness. Then this state of consciousness enables you to purify the intelligence within you. In spirituality, purification is of immense significance. Unless the mind is purified, it cannot be dropped. Unless the soul is purified, it cannot attain moksha, that is liberation. When you pray, purify your intelligence and it becomes your wisdom. Purify yourself completely and you become one with the whole. How beautiful is this and how deep. This is the way of its happening, and that is why all the religions and all the enlightened beings have always encouraged you all to pray, to read the holy scriptures. When you read something that is beautiful, divine and enlightening, it impacts your mind. It sends a very deep message to your subconscious. A great change starts happening within you. Then you are no more the same. Everything around you is the same, but you are no more the same. Then you are flowering. Then you are blossoming into a beautiful flower. And this is the beginning of wisdom. The more you purify your intelligence by regular prayers, regular meditations, regular reading of scriptures, the more you would continue to blossom. In the larger interest of all my close followers and listeners, I will tell you all a very simple remedy to grow intelligence within you. The remedy is very simple, because truth is also very simple. God is also very simple. Read the holy scripture of your faith daily, and daily worship the rising sun by offering water and reciting the holy Gayatri mantra. In Hindu community, we believe that the sun is at the helm of all our activities. Even Lord Rama was a Surya Vamshi, Sun dynasty. Sun is the answer to every seeker who seeks intelligence. But as mentioned in the very beginning, that along with Sun, the support of other planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Ketu, Uranus, Neptune, is also necessary, because astrology and life both are multi-dimensional and not one-dimensional. It is said that Saint Kabir, and we all love him so much, he was the greatest saint of all, and yet the pundits and the scholars, the intellectuals, condemned him and asked him that how can he know everything in the scriptures when he never had attained any school or university. Now the scholars may have a very big memory system, but Kabir had the soul. And the luminous quality of the soul of the sun is described by the Upanishads as subtle intelligence. Small children has this subtle intelligence. True saints and innocent people have it. And only through this subtle intelligence can anyone go beyond the layers of illusion. An intellectual person becomes entangled in only understanding about the layers of illusion. This ordinary intellect becomes involved only with the outer appearance of things. But it is with love and prayerfulness comes the ability to see through and reach to the invisible and leave the visible aside. Whenever you are in love, you move beyond the body, beyond the mind. When you love the whole existence in that way, it is called prayerfulness. Prayer's meditation is the process of making the intelligence more and more subtle. By and by, the impurities of intelligence will drop, and a moment comes when the intelligence is absolutely pure, just pure light. I pray to the Lord, to the benevolent Master, that may you all experience the light within you, and may you all continue to progress in your spiritual journey. The journey that can become so beautiful, so fascinating, and so joyful only if you are willing to continue without giving up. Without letting any negativity impact you, remember, to meditate you need tremendous courage. Only a true warrior can meditate and attain the peace, the bliss within. Buddha says there are only two mistakes a seeker can commit: not starting with meditations and giving up in the middle. When you jump, you simply jump. Then there is no coming back. Then you must not have any second thoughts. Many start having second thoughts, and so we have a very few who become the Buddha. Buddha is needed. There have been many Buddhas in the past, and there will be many Buddhas in the future. For Buddha is not a name, it is a state of enlightenment. It is a title. Intelligence is only possible when you become a Buddha. It is called divine intelligence. And it comes only when you start meditating When you start living your life by surrendering yourself to the Lord, the compassionate Master. Krishna says, surrender to me. Jesus says, surrender to me. Buddha says, surrender to me. The Divine Master are simply giving you a pointer towards the truth. The Master always is a pointer towards the truth, that we should find ourselves by walking on the path that He has so lovingly showed us. Come, this is the way. As you start walking, the way will start appearing on its own. The real question is whether you are willing to walk the talk. Intelligence comes when you start walking on the way of the heart. What a joy to travel the way of the heart. Let the journey within begin. Start meditating, meditate every day, and remember, you are not alone. God is with you, and God is good all the time. Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru.